Hello everybody, my name is Pixel and welcome to the Sapphire Tech YouTube channel. Today we are going to be taking a quick look at some gameplay of Gears 5 running on the Sapphire Pulse RX 5700 at 1440p using some optimized settings which are very close to being maxed out and with temporal scaling disabled. Now, since there are so many options available in Gears 5, rather than going through all of the settings individually, I will leave up a screen showing the options that we use for a few seconds now. I do want to point out that the resolution reconstruction in Gears 5 is actually pretty awesome, so while we do have it disabled in this gameplay, I would recommend that you leave it enabled if you end up playing the game for yourselves. It does an excellent job of keeping hold of whichever frame rate target you set, and unlike most reconstruction techniques, this new Unreal Engine implementation is able to apply the reconstruction prior to any of the post-processing being added, which really helps keep the final presented image nice and clean. As you should be able to see, our frame rate was pretty much all over the place, but not in a bad way. I would say that we held the 60 FPS minimum for quite literally 99% of the combat encounters and the vast majority of the time spent exploring the environments. The cutscenes on the other hand were a little bit more of a mixed bag, which is not really all that surprising considering that all the cutscenes are rendered here in real time. These cutscenes, by the way, are amazing, like seriously drop dead gorgeous at times. The last couple of years has been pretty awesome in terms of real-time cutscene rendering within games, and Gears 5 is right up there with some of the best examples. Not only due to using super high quality assets and animations, but also due to having great all-round cinematography, scripting and voice acting.
Well, look, we'll just leave you to the very important work of punching machines.
And sparring. Hang on a second, shitstick.
Shitstick? Del, theories?
I don't know. Maybe a stick made out of shit?
Or a stick used to stir up shit.
That level of presentation quality thankfully makes its way into the gameplay, with the developers demonstrating a high level of mastery when it comes to getting the most out of the Unreal Engine. Gears as a franchise has always been a great showpiece for Unreal, but Gears 5 takes that to a whole new level. It's no secret that I have got quite the love-hate relationship with the Unreal Engine, because on one hand I really love the freedom that it offers to developers, especially for smaller teams or those running with a limited budget, but on the other hand, it certainly does have a few quirks. The Unreal Engine has technically always been right at the cutting edge in terms of its feature set, however I've always felt that while this was evident in some of the awesome tech demos it's produced over the years, seldom have we seen their results transition over to a ship product in a meaningful way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't believe that this is necessarily the fault of the engine itself, but at the same time, I really can't blame the developers either. In many ways, the Unreal Engine has always been a jack of all trades and master of none. This is quite simply a side effect of having thousands of small features tightly packed into an engine, even though the average game may only make use of a handful, basically leading to excessive bloat, which can have a negative impact on its flexibility due to all the ways that these features are all interconnected. And yet, here we are with Gears 5 and the game's feeling sleek and streamlined to the point where it almost feels like an entirely new engine. This is something that really needs to be experienced, as a lot of these improvements aren't just down to the visuals, although the visuals are amazing, but they also come down to game feel. Sure, I can show you some footage of the most impressive moments, and to be clear, there are plenty of very impressive moments that I could share, but I just don't believe that's going to really demonstrate what I'm talking about. I suppose the closest example that I could give would have to be to one of the more recent id Tech games, so something like either Wolfenstein or Doom. Not only are the visuals top notch, but everything also feels well and truly planted into the world, and what I mean by this is, while not realistic, the world feels believable, and the fluid performance combined with the tight responsive controls allow Gears 5 to offer a level of connected feel that very few games can match. Now, I have to admit that personally, I am not a massive fan of the type of gameplay that the Gears of War franchise is known for. Linear third-person cover-based shooters have never really been my kind of thing, and I doubt that this game is going to change that. However, so far, I am around 6 or so hours into the campaign, and surprisingly, I've been really enjoying the journey. You see, you would think that not liking the thing that quite literally defines the game, so the third-person cover shooting in this instance, would cause you to want to play the bare minimum and then move on to a game that you do like. But while not my kind of game, I have genuinely enjoyed my time with it. In fact, my favourite franchise of all time, Mass Effect, for all intents and purposes, is also a third-person cover-based shooter, albeit with RPG elements laid on top, so I suppose that's proof positive that I'm at least able to see past those elements that I don't like, and instead focus on those that I do. The one thing that really caught me off guard with Gears 5 is the fact that there appears to be a genuine story here. I've never really played much Gears of War in the past. I mean, other than a few sessions at a mate's house and a few rounds of multiplayer at gaming events, I'm basically a Gears of War virgin. And from what little I have played, as well as what I had heard, I always just assumed that the Gears franchise was a dumb fun cover shooter with a half decent multiplayer component. However, based on my time with the game while recording this video, I'm starting to question if all my assumptions were just flat out incorrect. So, surprisingly, considering that I'm not a big fan of the core gameplay loop, I'm still considering playing through to the very end and then going back and playing through the original trilogy followed by Gears of War 4, simply due to how much I'm already feeling like I'm getting invested into these characters and the lore. If I do manage to play this through to the end, I will look into making a more in-depth impressions video. However, until then, I think I'm just going to leave it here, so that will be me done for today. If you are new around here, then please do consider slapping that subscribe button and dinging that bell so you get notified of our future uploads. If you like this video, then please do also like this video. If you disliked it, there is a button for that too. I just please ask you that you let us know in the comment section what you disliked about it so we can try and improve in future. With that said, from myself and everyone here at the Sapphire Tech YouTube channel, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we will catch you later. Bye bye.